door? That door? I don't know. Are you watching right? Him live. It's gonna be all raw. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted. What is going on, Villager? What is going on, Stevie Seams? And what is going on, KMax Gaming? If you're in here tonight, is going to be something a little bit different because I have joined my first ever game jam on itch.io. So, a game jam, you ask? I will show you. I need to not watch myself on here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Could you hear all that? All right, what's going on, guys and girls and guys of all sorts. So I'm going to show you in a second here what I have joined. This game jam started at 8 p.m. and I think it's closed now. Yep, so you can submit your project. This is the game jam that I have joined on itch.io. It is called the Adventure Jam, and it's creating an adventure game in 2 weeks. So this is going to be kind of interesting. I'm going to be doing some sort of like devloggy kind of things where I just share the progress of the game, but I'm also going to have you guys play it along the way every once in a while. It's going to be for Android currently. It doesn't say that you need anything special to make it with. You can make it with whatever you want. So these are all the rules. There are no themes. Basically, it's just an adventure game that you decide on yourself. So basically, what an adventure game to me is like Zelda, of course. So adventure game definition is a video game genre in which the player assumes the role of a protagonist in an interactive story driven by exploration and or puzzle solving. The genre focuses on the story, allows it to draw heavily from narrative-based media such as literature, film, encompassing a wide variety of genres. And some examples: Legend of Zelda, God of War, and Tomb Raider are the top examples. So I'm going to be using that in mind, and I have some ideas that I have come up with in my head. And today is just going to be kind of a first game devlog of what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be building it in Android Studio. So it's going to be built from the ground up. I will be reusing some code that I have already developed, but a lot of it's going to be raw. So like my game loop and stuff, I'm going to be using that. And I'm just going to be sharing with you guys the progress over time with what I have in store. I'm not going to tell you guys what my idea is. I have a couple ideas running through my brain, and we're going to start coding. And if you want to have fun with this, shoot me some ideas. And I'm not seeing any messages pop up here. See. Now my chat window. No! Gotta fix this. 2 seconds. There we go. Hello. Yeah, my chat's not showing for whatever reason, so I'm just gonna check something. My chat is live on Twitch as well. And let's check it out on... Maybe we're having a technical difficulty. I don't know. Nope, it's live. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I can't see the chat on my computer for whatever reason. I think it glitched out. And now I opened up Eclipse for no reason whatsoever. And my adventure game. That's not what the game name is going to be, but DNA Mobile. Actually, it's going to be Droidly Mobile because it's going to be on .ca. My adventure game. Done. So I'm going to scratch my eye. We're going to have some fun. Is it working? Is it working for you? I don't know. Is it working? I want to know what your idea is. I'm not telling you what the idea is because it's going to be secret. I don't want people knowing what the idea is. But it is going to be an adventure game based off of those games that I have mentioned already. So you're going to see my brain when I code. Hope that chat is working. Oh my god, a donation. Well, thank you, Stevie Seams. Very much. I like the sunglasses guy. All right. That's still not going to let me or make me tell you what the the actual idea is, but first I'm going to be importing a couple classes here, and one's going to be called my game view class, and we have our game loop class, and like I said, I'm going to be importing a lot of stuff that I already have in mind. Game loop, game view, and my player. That's about it for now. And we have our game loop. So our game loop, I'm going to actually copy it from somewhere else, another project that I already have a game loop for, just to make it quick. And then, like I said, it's 2 weeks long. It's going to be an interesting adventure for sure. And I'm going to grab this right here. Thank you very much for the donation. I wish my chat was working up here, because right now, here, I'm going to turn my phone down. I don't know if I can hear that background sound. Hope you're doing well, Villager, as well. I seen you guys commenting on the live game. We have our game view. So, game view. And the reason why I wanted to do this live for the very first introduction was just so I could just, prove that I'm doing this all from raw ideas, and I'm not copying anything other than some code, obviously, like this game loop. I'm going to need this. Extends, surface view, and implements surface holder dot callback. And a lot of this stuff might not make sense to any of you, but it makes sense to me, and I'm not going to really explain it because I'm just kind of coding and just sharing what I'm doing with everything so that I can create a game in 2 weeks that is a adventure game. So this is basically a lot of clicking. We're going to use a draw method to canvas. We're going to draw everything on the canvas, not surface view callback. Yes, we'll add the callback in a second here. Mr. IDE super.drawCanvas. And I've learned a lot of this in the last couple of years. Well, last couple of years, I kind of have been studying a few different methods about game development and stuff, and Java game development. Thank you, man. I appreciate this. And game loop, update draw method. That's all good and dandy. I appreciate you coming in here. I'm going to put some music on, though, in my ear. So I got to put YouTube on. Another side here because it's quiet in my room. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure you guys can't hear the the sound of the desktop. Display capture, desktop audio, which I don't think you can. So let's see. Hold on a second. No, you guys can't hear that. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. So you'll see me drink every once in a while too. I'm having some tea. And the hacker in the action movies. What do I got open here? I got this open. So yeah, voting. So once this game is ended, all participants are encouraged to play and rate as many entries as possible. So I can actually play some of the games that people have entered, which is going to be interesting to see, whether graphically or through description or descriptive narrative, how memorable the environment was, characterization, mental engagement, emotional engagement, inspirational. And there's over 21 people or 22,000 people that have joined now. They went down to, it was 2,100 earlier, but submit your project. So we got 13 days and 23 hours, and it's done on June 9th. So there's nothing about like sharing the game outside. So like you guys could be my team, I guess, if you guys want to test it out and stuff for me. It is for Android right now, and if anybody that doesn't have Android has a PC, you can download like BlueStacks, for example, and play it. But I'm going to be using a lot of, at the beginning, just assets that are free to just mess around with for the time being. I have some assets that I am going to be using once the game starts becoming put together a little bit more. So game view, we have to add our surface holder. We have to add our game loop. We're going to do public game loop. And paint object, because we're going to be testing out our game text paint. I always call it just text paint. I copy a lot of things from what I've done already before in the past, and like I'm just doing this based off of memory right now. Text paint. I'm going to download the game and send you my feedback. What's the basic storyline? The basic storyline. I'm not giving away anything right now. Not today. Because it is an adventure game. So this is an adventure that you'll have to think about. And yes, you'll be able to download it. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on the Google Play Store right away, because it's going to be a free game. Textpaint.set size. It's going to be 50 pixels. Surface holder dot add callback. This equals new surface holder. Oops. Equals, what am I doing here? It's late. My brain. Does that mean you don't have one yet? Well, the storyline is something of... Yes, I don't have a storyline yet. Fully. I don't have a storyline yet. I'm just going to build the game back end first a little bit and then start the storyline while I'm going along. And that's part of the adventure of the game. Does that make sense? Get holder. Maybe you guys should be part of the story. Maybe you guys should make the storyline for me. Wouldn't that be cool? Bring you guys into it. This dot surface holder. Okay, there we go. Get holder. That's what I was trying to think about. All right. So now in my main activity, I'm going to add my game view class. Game view equals new game view. And this and game. Oops. set content view of that game view. So my goal by the end of the day, of tonight at least, I want to add a player moving around on the screen, and that'll be like the end goal for tonight, is basically just getting that player going, and then I'm just going to continue coding after I get that done on the side, and I will update everybody every day with a little dev log of just like, hey, this is what I did today and the gist of it. So it's going to be just kind of a video about what I did and what I'm doing. So there's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration when it comes to trying to do your best not to spoil any game info. Yeah, I have an idea. I have the idea in my head, but there's no story or end game yet. I have the idea for the game, but no end game. If that makes sense, because there's supposed to be an end game for like any adventure game, and some puzzles and stuff. So like that's going to be the interesting part, is making up a couple puzzles along the way to progress in the game. So yeah, so I'm just going to be sharing all that with you guys. Now I'm going to be copying a piece of code that I have just opened up here, and it's going to go in my game view class. I'm going to paste it under here, and this is just basically getting our display width and height of our game or our device. So everything's going to be in pixels. So we're going to be using a lot of floats and integers for this, and we want to get the display's width and height to its actual pixel, because we want to calculate. There's going to be a lot of math and stuff involved, and there's a lot of math involved in gaming and writing your own code for gaming, whereas like there's game engines, like there's math and game engines and stuff, but there's a lot of like, hey, I want to move my player 10 steps at a time in like other game engines, and it's just, you don't see the back end usually of that kind of aspect of the game. So yeah, so I'm going to be writing a lot of the code, and hopefully I can get state dot equals terminated. Then we're going to recall our surface holder equals get holder, surface holder dot add callback. Oops. And this. So what the service holder is doing is just basically holding all of the information for our game and drawing it on the screen. And how we're going to do that, we're just going to draw a text object using the canvas. So draw text, string.value of just turns it into a number variable of some sort. So we're going to go game loop dot get average frames per second. And where we're going to draw it, we're going to draw it at our text paint dot get text size times 2. So on the x-axis, and then text paint dot get text size times 2 on the y-axis. And then we're going to be drawing it based off of the text paint object, which is just our settings basically for setting up our text paint. So we set it to blue, and I was using white before, but I think blue is the best option for that. Name the boss villager. You can add the boss that is hard to kill in the end of the game, just like Minecraft. And name it villager. Well, maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll integrate both of you guys into this game. All right. So now we should be able to see a text pop on the screen when we run this. And I'm going to change the video that just popped up because I don't know what I'm watching at this point. Just wanted some background sound. And there we go. And where'd it go? Oh, my screen just disappeared. Gotta change the timeout period for this. And there. So we have our frames per second is almost at 120 frames per second. 118 frames per second, looking good. Bunch of stuff just running on the bottom here. Okay, and then I'm going to change this in my manifest. Theme is no action bar. And I'm going to grab another piece of code here because this piece of code that I used before allows us to have a full screen game. If I can find it. I have so many different games that I've started and just not stopped. Like I stopped doing. Get display width. All right, Zeldamon. Maybe one of the bosses will be Stevie's Seams, and then one of the ultimate boss would be Villager XD. So yeah, this is like my very first game jam. I've never joined a game jam before. So this is going to be an interesting adventure, literally. And this is the wrong file. Trying to find something. Maybe this is it. Nope, that's not it either. If I can't find it, I'm just going to add it later. Why did I decide to join it? Basically so I could finish a game. I wanted to actually finish one of my games. I feel like I produced like a couple of different games that I wasn't really like, they were just experience games, just testing things out and everything. And then I've been working on one of my games for a while. Here it is, I think. And I still have not completed it, I guess. All right, so this is what I think this is the one I was looking for. So basically this is going to allow the game to be in full screen mode. So we'll test this in a second. And I need to add something so that our game doesn't crash all the time. So generate an override method. And it's called an on pause method. So when you actually just leave the game for a second, it'll just pause the game. So game loop dot stop loop for a moment. And I'm going to change when the display times out because I don't want it to time out so often. So 30 seconds. Let's go 5 minutes for now. There we go. So let's start this again. And there we go. So we got our full screen. Now I'm going to mess around with this quite a bit every once in a while, but this should be handling the full screen with the notch at the top and everything. So yeah, basically I just want to finish something. That's why. Give me and then I can continue it. So according to their rules, if you want to update everything like post jam, you can't like update to the existing I guess you probably wouldn't be able to anyways, but I can update it as much as I want to later on. So that's the reason why I wanted to do this too, was just because if I come up with something that I think is going to be fun, I hope you guys think it's fun too, then yeah, it'll be an interesting adventure. I'm going to say that a lot. So main activity, set game view. Now I'm going to utilize something inside of this game because we can use XML layouts for our game. So this is going to be my button UI layout. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to put buttons on the screen that we can actually utilize. Relative layout. And we can include it in our game. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff actually probably today. So actually probably, is that even like a sentence? Relative layout, main activity, shows in, button UI layout. Get rid of this, it's supposed to be relative layout. And these are going to be where my buttons are. So I'm going to use a linear layout. Match, match, orientation, horizontal, and now we can place our other layouts inside here. So we're going to use, I don't know if I want to use an image view or button, maybe just an image view. So we're going to go, I'm just going to do 50 dp for this because we're going to actually programmatically change this. 50 dp. And there's our button right there. So ID is going to be button up, button down, and horizontal is this way. So I did that wrong, but we're going to go change that to vertical. So we have button up and down, which is right here. And we're going to do a mid button just to give it some space. Button middle. Maybe we'll use it. I don't know yet. No, we're actually going to go like this. We're going to go linear layout again. We're just creating a D-pad to actually move around on the screen for now. I might use, depends on what your guys' preferences are. Bro, why are you not using Unity or Unreal Engine to make advanced games? I guess you can drag and drop layout items. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to, that's why. ID, mid, D-pad, layout. And the orientation is going to be horizontal. And the other reason why is because this is what I know. I'm not going to try to learn something that I don't really know. That's the other reason. Like, I have 2 weeks to make this, and I know how to do this. So, linear layout, orientation, horizontal. We're going to add our left and right button. So, button left. Button middle. And we have our button right. Okay, so we have kind of a D-pad right here. And now we're going to go and wrap this content. And we're going to change the gravity to center. And center, horizontal. And wrap. And there's our D-pad. There we go. We got our movement for our player to move around on screen. I might have to go because my phone is at 3%. All right. Well, thanks for joining in. I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. I'm going to just try to get that player on the screen. That's about it. But I figured I might as well just go as much as I can until I decide bottom. There we go. So there it is on the bottom of our relative layout. And now we are going to include our activity main. Oops, layout. And we're going to change this. So we're going to be setting the content view of this game view, but later on, I'm going to change this to setting it to our actual layout again, which actually I'm going to do that right now. r.layout dot button UI layout. And then what we're going to do is actually add our view to a layout. So we're going to go relative layout, game layout, and then we're going to go game layout equals find view by ID r.id game layout. And it's going to be this layout right here. Relative layout match game layout. And I always have a problem with this aspect of the XML layouts, and that's why I like to just draw stuff on the screen. But we're going to show in their game layout, and it's not showing the button. That's why I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Let's try to rebuild this. Let's clean this project. Sometimes the XML layouts don't actually render properly. Oh, it's all good. Thanks for dropping in. This isn't a gaming one. It's like a gaming devlog, right? So it maybe not that much fun, even though you said your phone's dying. We'll blame it on that, right? All right, let's see what this does. I don't think this is actually going to render. Yeah, no, it's not going to render that properly. Add view, game view. Oops. I have to turn the light on soon. It's getting dark. The content view. Oh, that's why. That. And there's our layout again. So we just don't have those buttons. So for whatever reason, let's try linear layout. It has to be relative layout. Context. Why aren't you showing? What am I doing here? All right, I'm gonna check something. Just give me 2 seconds. Broken. It's all broken. All right, I'm gonna go and check something quick. I'm going to look at one of my other games. I can never remember where to put this. Let's change the gravity to not anything here for a second. Usually you put the layout right here, activity main, and then shows in button UI layout, and it should just pop up in there, but I don't know what is going on with that. Google. So that's what I thought. Linear layout, orientation, vertical. But it's giving me an error. Oh, it's because of this. Stack Overflow, I need you. While live. More just hard to like pay attention to people talking while live or messaging while live. Hmm. Okay, let's add a button in here. Button. Match parent. Let's text. Okay, there's the button. Maybe it was working. Maybe it's just because I'm not showing anything. Let's see. We'll run this again. Maybe I was just having an error in my brain. Yeah, okay, there's the button. And it's because I don't have any images for this. So all right, there it is. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. All right. Or I'm good to go. Match parent, and we have bottom and left. Get rid of all that stuff. All right, let's see what this does. We're gonna close this. I don't know why this keeps opening up. CPU watch. It actually tells us what our average frames per seconds are and everything, and of our GPU is being used, which is actually very useful when you're making a game. CPU is at 56, GPU is 32%. And yeah, this updates per second is actually loading properly. We have 119 FPS on the surface view. But I want this to be white. 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 Yeah, there's our buttons. For now, doesn't look that great. Yeah, for whatever reason, when I add that layout, maybe if I go add another linear layout, gravity, bottom. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. All right, we got our D-pad. Now we can move our player around the screen when we get to that point. And that's where we're gonna do what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go image view, button right, button left, button down. Button right, copy paste. Ah, but And now we're going to copy all that. So we're going to use this for our touch events when we actually touch the D-pad down the road. And yeah, it is harder. It's a little bit harder to. It's not really harder. It's more just, like I said, this is a dev loggy thing where I'm just kind of, you're watching me code and then I'm gonna see what your guys' ideas on the matter are. Just like when KMax Gaming asked me why am I not using a game engine, well, it's because I don't really know any of the game engines, and no, not break, return. Yeah, so I don't really think I should be trying that approach when I don't know that. There we go. Clean it up. All right, so now we have our touch events for now, and we can test this by doing something quick in our game view. We can add a Boolean, for example. So go public, Boolean, button touched equals false. And that text on the screen, if button touched. Now we go main activity. We're going to go on our right button, game layout, or game view. Dot button touched equals true. And false. So if I touch the button, shows it. Oh, where did I put that wrong? Return. There we go. Turn true. And there we go. So if I press the button, it shows. That means that the button's actually being touched, and that's only for that button for now. But that's not what we're going to be doing, obviously, with that. I'm going to be wanting to place this just right there. Return true. Turn motion event. It's the great thing about the Android 8, the Android Studio IDE. We can use some of the default methods and override methods that we already have. So if I look for onTouch event, return super, that's what I wanted, was return super dot onTouch event. That's not actually going to work in here because it's not the same aspect of actually using that inside of our game class. So we could just do a return true. We'll go game view dot button touched equals true. And we'll test it one more time. A lot of testing. And that's not going to work because we have to actually return the actual method or the actual action. So we don't want to do that either. And work with what works, right? All right, so get rid of that for now. We'll mess around with all this later on because we're going to add more buttons. It's getting dark. So dark. I got the charging cable. Sometimes it's harder, huh? Is coding ever easy? Not really. Oh no, I didn't forget. Good. Turn on my light. Ooh. My LED light. There. It's very nice. I love it. All right, let's get back to what I was doing here. So, our player class, we're going to actually change something here. So, package, we're going to go entities. And I'm going to drag this in here, refactor that, and new Java class. So, entity information. And this is where we're going to hold all the information for all of my entities so that I can use them over and over again. Extend entity info. And copy and paste a lot of stuff here. So game view. This dot game view. We don't have this yet, but that's fine. Equals game view. Okay, game view. And now we're going to work with adding our player details. So it's going to be a 2D game, that's for sure. Public int, position X, position Y, screen, position X, screen, position Y, and X, Y equals 0 by default. So all of these different variables or values are going to be explained. Now we have public int player width, player height equals 0. Public rect f def equals new rect f, which is just our player's rectangle. Now I'm not probably going to use this. I have a custom hitbox class that I'm going to be using, but this is going to be my player's hitbox. And the reason why I'm not using this is because rect f dot. Here, I'll tell you in a second. We're going to go to the rect f class. Now left, top, right, and bottom. I don't really like how they word that. I like how it's worded in Java where it's like x, y, width, height, public, void, initialize our player. Yeah, I messed around with the D-pad too much. I'm just going to name it initialize because I am going to be copying this. Public, void, update. So we're going to be updating and drawing over and over again. And that's how games work. You're basically updating whatever's happening in the background, and then you're drawing it on the screen. And that's what our game loop's going to be handling. And draw. We're not drawing anything just yet. Now, my player's width and height, I'm going to be using just like a straight variable for that. 160 pixels by 160 pixels, because I think that looks good on most devices. Dark modded. How to modded old 3DS. I did a live stream for that, Daniel. I did actually a whole live stream of modding the 3DS. I know I did that 2DS today. But the original 3DS, here, let me see. For some reason, I can't put the chat in my chat. But if you look through my channel on the live section, you can actually find... It is... Yeah, it starts with Let's Mod the Nintendo 3DS Live together. So it was actually almost the same exact setup as the 2DS that I shared today. Player width equals 160 pixels. Player height equals 160 pixels. And now we're going to go rect f dot left equals 0 for now. Rect f dot right equals player width. And that's why I don't like the way that this is worded. Dot top equals 0. Rect f dot bottom equals player height. Okay, and we're going to add a paint object. And hitbox, paint, new paint. And this is just going to be the hitbox for our player so that we can actually see it on the screen. And hitbox paint dot set color, color dot green. And by default, it's just going to be filled no matter what. And our position on screen. So we're going to go put this all the way down here. The position, the screen X is actually the device screen, is going to be player width times 2. So it's going to be 320 pixels from the left. Screen Y, just for now, player height times 2. And technically I would want this in the middle of the screen at all times. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go canvas.draw rectangle rect f, and it's going to be our screen, or rect f dot left, rect f dot top, and then rect f dot. That's why I don't like this. I have my hitbox thing that I have left. Plus rect f dot right, or yeah, right. And then rect f dot top plus rect f dot bottom. And we have our hitbox paint. Not resolve. See, that's why. That's why I'm not doing this. So 160. Screen position X. Screen position Y. And then we're going to go screen position X plus player width. And screen position Y plus player height. Are you going to be going live often during the challenge? This is a 2D game, right? Yeah, it's going to be a 2D game. Yep. Box paint. Why is it saying it can't resolve this? Okay, let's canvas.draw rect. Float left, so screen X. Screen position Y. Screen position X plus 160. Screen position Y. Was there just like an error there somewhere that I didn't see? Position. Left, right, bottom. Hitbox paint. Okay, that worked. I don't know. I must have... Oh, I had the rect in there. That's why. Okay. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go live. I don't know. How many times should I go live for this? Maybe I'll just do a live. Let's look at the calendar. So we have Friday today, next Friday, and then the night before. We'll do the night before because it says Lost Miner. I'll have to look at that. It sounds familiar. Game Jam. I'm just looking at the game jams. So it says 8 p.m. on June 9th. So maybe I'll go live like 7 o'clock on June 9th for the last hour to crunch the game in there. Just to see what I can come up with. Like if it needs anything by that point, unless I actually already have it done and ready to go. Or if you guys think it's ready to go. But we're gonna draw this little rectangle. I'm gonna fix this after. I don't know what the heck I was doing here. Oh, I was trying to just draw the rectangle. So let's go back into our game view and we're gonna add our player. And player. This isn't gonna be it, don't worry. Player. And player equals new player. I need a keyboard that has lights so I can actually see the keys. And player dot draw canvas. And let's do 10, F10. Did I run it? Hello? Where are you? Oh, I didn't initialize it. That's why. Initialize. There's our square. He's so square. I love it. All right. So let's go back to our game view. So why I added the actual display width and height is because I want my player to be on the center of the screen at most times. So let's close down things that we don't actually need open. And we're going to go to our player and we're going to set his screen position to game.get display width game.get context now I don't need this here. I've already contexted this. I don't know why I added that before. Divided by 2. And then minus player width divided by 2. Okay, let's check this out. If I can think about math right now. So now our player is actually on the dead center of the screen on the top. And then we're going to do the same thing with the actual Y position. And the player is not going to change its position at any given time. It's always going to be sitting there. Go back to here and get rid of this. And player height. So I have a point system slash, I know a game called I Was Worried. Are you going to... You were worried? What were you worried about? If I was going to go live every time? I'm not going to go live every time. How much health points are you going to give your player? Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, we need some, need player health, obviously. I'm going to put that in there now. So public int entity health HP. We'll go entity HP, entity max HP, because we're going to do some math for that. And there we go. All right, so now we're going to add public void initialize spreadsheet. So I'm going to add an image view or a spreadsheet in here. And I'm going to grab that from something I already have set up, just because it's going to be easier that way for me. And like the Game Jam says, there's no rules fully. How we do this, and this is going to be my spreadsheet that I'm using. Might look familiar. Go into my drawable folder and paste that in there. You love when I'm live? I'm going to add actually this tile set in here too, because we're going to use this later on. I will show you it later. And my special D-pad. Just like so. We're going to go in here for a second, and we're going to go click on the D-pad background. And we're going to go background, D-pad. Ah, that looks so ugly. I love it. All right, so 50 times 3 is 150 EP. And we're going to get rid of the background color, because now we can actually see something rather than nothing. There. Cool. I have an animated D-pad for this too, and I made this D-pad animated. It looks actually pretty cool when you actually start using it. And I love that you love that. I love going live. I just enjoy sharing my brain with everybody, because it's a fun adventure up there. Adventure. All right. I forgot what I was doing. Android Studio projects. I'm going to be grabbing some code from another project that I used or that I have made already. And there it is right here. And we're just going to be initializing our sprite sheet. A lot of red's going to pop up on the screen, but I am going to fix that right now. Sprite sheet jacket width divided by default tile size, which is not true. Oops. It's going to go divided by 16 because my tile sheet is only 16 pixels. times 16. So 16 pixels, current row times 16. So I made this this piece of code right here a while ago because it was perfect for grabbing information from your tile sheet. So every image has its own ID. So the left top right hand corner starts at 0. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's technically 12 images there, but it starts at 0. And that's how I load all of my sprites in using an array of bitmap images, which is this one right here. So entity sprites, and we're going to go add our bitmap images in here. This is YouTube. You probably don't know this app, guys. Bitmap array. So first we're going to go bitmap default entity image, just to keep it simple, equals null. So that just means that it doesn't equal anything. And then we're going to go bitmap array equals new bitmap. And I'm just going to put 100 in here. Probably won't ever use 100 images at any given time, but we're going to rescale this image at 160 pixels, or entity width, or what did I name this? Player width. Let's change this to entity width because we're going to be using this across the board with all of our entities. And it's not going to be the same size. Height. Ta-da! Magic. And now we're going to go entity width, entity height. And like, I want to have fun with this too. Like, it's going to be a challenge of seeing how much fun we can have with this. When I go live, it's going to be a little bit more interesting, I think. Number of tiles, get rid of that for now. Because that was just, what this is, just basically a list that I made, but we don't actually need this in here. So when I go into my initialize, I'm going to go set up sprite sheet, or sprite sheet, what did I call it? Initialize sprite sheet. Okay. And then we can draw that bitmap image basically on the same plane. Draw bitmap default image. We haven't set that yet. We're going to go screen position X, screen position Y, and null as our pane object for now. And this is going to change too. So we're going to mess around with all this later on. So now I'm going to set up my default image equals entity sprite, and it's going to be this one right here. Maybe I should show his butt. I don't know. Entity sprite 0. And now we should be able to draw player red on the screen. And there he is. All right. Now let's mess around with having a little bit of fun with him. So we got our animations. So animation down and up. Now we're going to be working with our player's speed. So the speed at which he can walk equals 0 by default. Public int player or entity animation number, because we're going to be working with animations, equals 0 or 1 for now. Public int entity animation counter was 0. Public int entity animation max count equals 0. And we're going to go back into our player class. and create another method, public void update player animation. And we're going to go airspeed and the gravity effects. There won't be any gravity because it's just going to be a 2D top-down RPG style game, but it's going to be an adventure game, kind of like Zelda, right? It's going to be kind of like Zelda without giving anything too much away. Animation counter plus plus if entity animation is greater than max count. We haven't set that yet, so let's go set that now so I don't forget. Max count equals, I think 12 to 13 looks about good, usually with the animations. Much better with the double jump feature. If it was a platformer, yes. Woohoo! Without getting demonetized because I just said Mario. If animation number equals 1, animation number equals 2, else. Should stop this so that you guys don't see all that random nonsense down there. Animation number equals 2. Now we can grab this else statement because there's only 3 images, but we're going to be using 4 different animations at once for the time being. 4. I said 4 and I put 4. I'll show you what I mean in a second. And back to 1. Now this part is an interesting thing because when we touch the screen and release the screen, we want to cycle through the actual event. I'm going to go here and grab, oh, I already have this here, and reset it. And what we're looking for is whatever the direction our player is actually going. So I'm trying to public string entity direction by default equals nothing. And then we're going to reset that animation counter once it's reached its max. So counter equals 0. And then we're going to check animation number and set our animation. So we're going to create another method. And now we can just grab our if and else statements. Get rid of this. And we're going to be checking a lot of different things here. So if animation number equals 1, default image equals sprites. What did I name this? Entity sprites 0 and 0. And then this one's going to be 1 and 3. Okay, check animation number, and we're going to update this in our player update method. And now our player should always be walking on the screen when we put it into our game view. He's not going to actually move anywhere yet, but player.update, oh, just update, thank you very much. Now we should see our player. Oh, I did that wrong. So we want 0, 1, 2. My mistake. 0, 1, 2. That looks weird. Yeah. And it looks like he's going super, super fast. So We could change this to a 16 frames per second. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. I think that looks good. June 7th, 2 days before. It's a pretty big update, too. A lot of people are excited about that. So now we got to mess around with resetting our actual animation when the player is actually, like, the person that's playing the game is actually pressing any buttons. So we're gonna do the if statement. So if game dot check button pressed. Okay, we don't have that in there yet. Our game view. Oops. I'm gonna go add that Boolean right now. Boolean game or check. And I'm gonna copy a couple things of code here from another game that I've been working on. Animation count, so max count. So what this is doing is just basically checking to see if the button has been pressed, and if it's not, then we will reset the actual image back to its 0. And yeah, so let's go into our main activity and our down button, game dot button pressed goes true. Hours and hours of work developing this game. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully it'll only be a 10-minute game. I want somebody to actually play it. All right. All right, let's see what this does. Oh, press the wrong button. What button did I... Yeah, okay. He just wants to keep going. I've already got the return method here. I don't know what I'm doing here. False. Remove redundant assignment. Ugh. Why? Break this, and then we're going to return true on the end of this. I don't know. Break. There we go. So we got our down. So yeah, if I go down to our actual player object and I check to see if our player count, well, you have one player right now. One player. Hopefully 2 players. And let's get rid of this running code. Oh, we don't want to go back to 3 equals 4 equals 4. We can go like this. Game view, just for now. Dot player dot default image equals entity sprites or game dot 0. I'm gonna reset it back to 0 for now. I don't know why it keeps resetting back to that image. That doesn't make any sense. I have to check something. Over here, if it is less than 15, I think I'm just going to copy my entire code for this because I know it works and it looks good. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy my entire code and we're going to go like this. Public void, update animations. I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah. Goodbye. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to use still max count, current direction or direction. Default image. Like I know what I did here. I just can't really can't think at 9 o'clock at night. Like I started this game jam at 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night. Like I'm already done by that time of the day. But I'll burn my eyes for a bit. Just so you guys can watch me. Should I make some ramen? I love ramen. Why, are you hungry? Maybe I should eat some cookies. With a lot of sugar. Alright, what else do we got broken here? No, we didn't close this, that's why. Now, if entity current direction, so we're gonna go to our main activity. So what I did here, I'm gonna go game view dot or game view, not game layout dot player dot direction equals down and direction equals button released. Now animation. It's night. Everyone is hungry. So update player direction. So that's what I'm going to do too. I'm just going to copy a lot of stuff that I kind of already coded. I'm kind of curious as to what other people are actually making right now and how many people are actually up doing this right now. out of the 2,000 people. Lots of red. Okay, no, I'm going to get rid of that. Update player direction. Player direction equals right. Yeah, I use booleans for this. I don't know why I use booleans for this. Okay, I'm going to update the player direction. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go... And if game view dot check button pressed dot equals false, you could just use the not statement. It doesn't matter how you use this. Current entity direction equals button released. But that should not matter. I've already done this here. But I can just go like this. Get rid of that. And let's see what that does. Now, player got down. So this is down. Down 2 and 3. Right, left, up. All right. And button released, if direction equals down, up, right. Oh, that's left. Left, right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that is left and right. All right. Here we go. I know there is. Don't do that. It's too dark in here. I don't like it. I watch scary things, so don't do that. All right, here's our animation. That looks good, sort of. It's not right. It's what am I doing here? 1 and 3. No, we don't want 2 and 4. We just want, if it's 2, it's going to be 1. If it's 4, it's going to be 2. I'm going to have to look on my camera. You guys are freaking me out. I don't like that. I'm literally listening to a story right now. It's called The Dark Side of Reddit. There we go. But he's not doing what I want it to do. See, when you release the button, he's supposed to just go back to that regular animation. If current direction equals down. Oh. Broken. You don't even know what a Boolean is. True false statement. That's all it is. It's a true and false statement. I guess it's just like a soup Boolean. True when it's dissolved, it's false when it's not dissolved. Julian. That's why I wanted ramen. Oh, default direction. Entity, default direction. So we're going to check the default direction, and that's not something I added yet. So if it, the default direction, all right, here we go. To light mode. Yeah, that would hurt. All right, there we go. We got the animation the way I wanted it. So it looks like he's just moving. So if you think about how the old Pokemon games, he would move tile-based. So tile-based. There we go. So let's work on the animation of him walking different directions now. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Let's see how bright that would be. That would be fun. Go to settings. Editor. Oh, it's right there. Oops. Ah. All right, here we go. I'm closing my eyes. Oh! Look how bright that is. You can see my face. Let's go high contrast. Barf. Oh, look how bright that gets. That's crazy. Ugh. I don't like it. Just for you guys. Hopefully I blinded all of you. Button down. We're gonna copy and paste a lot of this code. It was a mess. That was annoying. Like I said, I want to copy some of the stuff that I have done in the past. And check button pressed false. Gotta break that. So that we turn it. Now let's see if our animation going in the opposite direction is actually correct. Nope, not correct. Not correct. Up animation. So we have, here's our sprite sheet. Let's float them. Right here. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. Going up is going to be 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Going right is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So starts at 9. Then get rid of this. Welcome to everybody that is in here. I'm trying to keep track of what we're doing here. 11. And our left animation is going to be 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. So I'm just going to work on, I'm going to go like this. Get rid of this. So button up and down is right there. Now we have button right. Oops. Burton. Button left. So we're going to change this to right. It's broken. So up is working, but the right does not look right. So let's go, if 1 and 3, it's going to be 9, right? 9, 1, 2, and 4. Whoops. Da, 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 da. I'm walking on nothing. And that's wrong. And that's right. Do, do, do. One touch, one touch. That's wrong too. The up button. Button released if up. Button released is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. Keep this on top for a second. The FBI light. The FBI light. Was it the FBI that you're thinking of with the 3DS hacking? Oh. Right. 9. Left. I think left was fine. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, left was fine. It was just the right and down. Let's see. Do 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 do. Perfect. Sort of. All right. Let's move our player across the screen now. Let's close this. That's good. And we are going to create something. We're going to put this in here. That doesn't really need to be there. We don't need so many methods in here for no apparent reason. And now we're going to create a method called update entity position XY. Create a method. We're going to change this to entity again, because again, I'm going to be copying and pasting a lot of this. I don't like how it creates my methods above the draw method. I like the draw method and the update method to be on top. I also like to put my initialize, update, and draw in order just so that I know where everything is. It's trying to keep everything organized. This is my FBI light. Just like a little... I don't know if you can see this on camera. Scary. Maybe I should put this on my keyboard so I can actually see. There we go. That's better. I have a nice glow. With that ghost that's behind you, villager. X and Y position. So this is where we're going to be checking what direction we're going. So we can do a couple things. We can go if, we can do switch statement, switch direction, case, right. And we have not set our player speed yet, but we will. So screen position X plus equals speed. Break case left. Screen position X minus equals speed. And break it again. So now, when we move across the screen, our position X and Y is going to change. And we're going to set our speed to be 8 pixels per update, just like so. Run! Ah! Super fast. Let's go with 6. That looks a little bit better. I like that. All right, now we can do a little bit of a collision check. So I'm going to be creating a collision checker class. I'm going to name, oh no, I'm going to name a package. New package. Utilities, whatever. Java class, collision checker. Now, I'm going to be doing this in here because I'm going to extend entity info, but I'm not going to create the full checker for this yet. Game view. Wait. Did I not have... Oh, that's why. I named that wrong. Oh, I didn't make it public, and it's telling me that. That's why. Public game view. There we go. All right. Public void int void check test collision. This is just going to be me checking just the left and right side. So if entity info entity and string direction, if entity did the sound effects you want, def the sound effects you want. Position X is greater than 0. If equals 0, then entity.collision equals true. This is just giving you kind of an insight of what we're going to be doing with this. Equals false, and then when we update collision equals false. Okay. Now, if not collision, and then we're going to go game view. Collision checker, oh, game collision checker dot check test collision this, and our direction so this is just like a simple if position X equals and position X plus speed or entity dot width plus entity dot speed equals game view dot display width. Then we're going to collide as well. What hours in Canada? It is 9:51 p.m. Not position X, screen X, because we're using just the screen right now. Right? Yeah. Nope. Nope. Oh, minus entity dot speed should be able to just put this around. Not working. Collision checker. Let's go with greater than 0. If not greater than 0, collision equals true. Yay! There we go. All right, there's the collision. All right, so I think I was just doing this literally. If that minus entity speed math 3 a.m. Why are you still up? Oh. All right, if oh, if less than, what am I thinking? If not less than, then we should collide into the side of the wall. There's our wall. And if direction dot equals right, just because you want to watch me, right? If direction entity, oops, left, if left, if right, and there's a little bit of collision for you. So we're checking just the exterior of the wall, and we can do an else statement. So like if else entity screen position X equals 0, so that we're actually at that 0 position. Because technically, if we go this way, we could be like -6, but not really realize it. And then the same thing goes with this. Else oh no, entity dot screen position X equals game view dot get display width minus entity dot width. Yes, that's what I want. No, that's wrong. Oh wait, we don't do that. What am I doing? Get rid of this. And then we set it. No. I will tell you that now. There we go. Now we're right at the edge of the screen. Right at the edge of the screen. I have been working on a multiplayer kind of thing lately, though. Trying to relearn multiplayer stuff. Up and down. Up is negative. So if screen Y equals 0. Height. Okay, now we should have collision going up and down. And we don't actually have movement up and down. And how we do that, copying these case statements and going up, down, and nope, I want down, up, Y, play, and there we go. Up, down. Now, the reason why it doesn't go all the way down on the screen is because technically we have this here. So I'm going to double check something here, actually. The math here is wrong. Display height, screen position Y. And yeah, it's because of this. We're actually not calculating. I have an actual piece of code for this that I have somewhere else. I gotta find it. And yeah, not right now. The multiplayer aspects, I'm not gonna go into that right now. There is a lot of work involved with that, and you have to have your own server and stuff, so. Plus entity height plus speed is less than game view dot get display height. We can go plus, I think the default. I'm just throw in some random numbers in here. I can't remember what the actual height is in particular with the actual navigation bar and this is right now. But that's why I said I have a piece of code that I can actually look at that. But we're not going to be moving the player around on the screen anyways. The background of the game is actually going to be what's moving, but I just wanted to show you the actual collision part, like checking collision with where the player is in respect to the actual device. But yeah, so there's like actual dimensions that are set for the navigation bar, and can't think of what this is called right now, but yeah. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do for the first day is we got our player, and it's not a crazy amount, but we've done a lot, and we got this kind of set up, and I'm going to continue this tomorrow morning and give you guys an update by the afternoon. But it's 10 o'clock right now. I've been doing this for 2 hours. I've been staring at a computer on and off today too. So I also did that video today with the 2DS hacking, modding, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to mod your 3DS, I did a live for that, and there is the video on that. But yeah, this is just going to be a introduction into what I'm going to be doing on the channel every once in a while with a game dev log, but I'm still going to do other videos. I have other videos in mind. I'm still going to be hacking this thing. So, this, the 3DS from Japan. It's in Japanese, obviously. So I'm going to be hacking that. And I also have a DS that I'm going to be fixing. This isn't it. This is my other one. But I'm going to be fixing my DS on a video, just showing you how I fix the screen. And a couple other things to do with R4 cards, again, because people have been asking about that. But that is about it for today, because it is 10 o'clock. I'm usually in bed by like 8 o'clock and probably asleep by 9. But yeah, I'm trying to push through it. I don't usually stay up this late, even though it's a Friday. I sound like I'm old. But yeah, that I did quite a bit, I think, for the first couple hours of this, just getting our player moving around the screen. And I'm going to share this part of the project so you can just play it and move the player around the screen and let me know how it looks on your device. One quick thing, actually. I want to do this really quick before I do that. And public void setup UI setup UI. Now I want to set up the button width and height for everything, so I'm just putting that in there for now. But the button width and height for these buttons, I want these buttons to match the actual display, so this might look different on some displays than others. But otherwise, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was 2 hours of me just typing stuff and rambling on and chatting back and forth with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But like I said, next Friday, I think I'm going to do a live. So the second, I'll do a live, see the progress within a week. But I'm still going to do like a daily, probably like a 10-minute video of, hey, this is what I've gotten done today. And then my regular videos on this channel. And then I might get back into doing the Minecraft stuff again. I don't know. That's more of a winter thing for me, is gaming. I like to design games, and then in the wintertime I like to play games, I guess. But I haven't designed anything that I have released that I'm like really impressed with, so that's why I did this. So have a good night, villager. Thank you for the rest. Good night, Stevie Seams. Good night, whoever else is in here that hasn't commented. I hope you enjoyed that. This is the game jam for the adventure game jam on itch.io. If you weren't here at the beginning, let's see if I can pop it back up again. But I don't think you can actually join anymore. I think you have to, I don't know where it is. Sometimes Jams joined. There it is right there. The Adventure Jam. And yeah, so let's see what adventures unfold. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, whatever time it is your time. And I will see you tomorrow. Not live, just on a video. Bye-bye.